Welcome into the Geico 15. Geico, 15 minutes could save you 15% or more on car insurance. Visit geico.com to see how much you could save. Bill Reiter jumping in, joining us here. All right, let's start with what was a pretty great Sunday in the NBA. You can see it's a playoff league. I mean, you know, it's just, you can just see and tell the difference. Let's start Lakers-Suns. Lakers were favored in the series. Suns were favored in game one. Not really sure how that works, but okay. What's your level of concern for the Lakers after Phoenix took them down in game one?
It's moderate. I think the Suns are good enough to beat the Lakers. Now, I didn't have the guts to either take the Suns over at CBSSports.com in our predictions or put money down on the series at all. This is a Suns team that's in the top 10 in offensive and defensive rating. They're really deep. They hit big shots. They play great defense. But I think the reason you have to pause a little bit on the enthusiasm is because that injury to Chris Paul, and it's just, I don't know if he's cursed. I don't know if it's karma. I don't know what it is. It seems like every postseason, when he has a real opening in an NBA championship, something goes wrong. And you saw that shoulder injury. We don't know the details yet, but he was basically, Eric, playing left-handed after he came down on that shoulder. That is a huge problem for the Suns. So it feels like a coin flip. Texting some folks around the NBA, most people feel like it's going to be Lakers, but the Suns are a legit team, and having a 1-0 lead is significant. All
right, well, let's follow up with that. Look, according to William Hill, Lakers are still favored in the series, despite the fact that they now have to win 4 out of 6. You know, you lose game one, you got to win 4 out of 6. They're minus 130. Phoenix is plus 110. So somewhere around like 55% if you want to take the Lakers right now. I say to you, just make a pick, knowing what you know right now. Who's going to win this series? It's close, I agree, but who and why?
I'll go Phoenix. Look, I think the Lakers have not been in rhythm the way that they need to. Anthony Davis did not assert himself in the first half, and that's been a problem at times. And you just saw with that Suns team, they had more swagger, they had more confidence. They're not as talented, Eric, but they have had continuity, right? They have had rhythm together. They've played together. Those things matter. Now, I think it comes down to injuries. Does Anthony Davis have a little bit of a problem? Is LeBron James 100% after that hard foul? Can Chris Paul get back? Not even game 2, game 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, if that goes on to near 100%, 80%. It's really close. But I think the Suns are one of the most underappreciated and undervalued teams in the NBA, and I think there's a chance that the Lakers get a little more credit than they deserve because of LeBron James. Put that all into the mix with a little bit of hesitation. I'll take Phoenix.
All right, next up, the Memphis Grizzlies just keep rolling. Okay, they win the play-in tournament, they win in Golden State, and they walk into Utah and they beat the Jazz. Now, Donovan Mitchell, was he going to play? Was he not going to play? Looked like he wasn't happy that he was held out in this one. Did this game say more about the Grizzlies or more about what Utah couldn't do, can't do, might be vulnerable down the road?
Yeah, I think it says more about the Grizzlies and the fact that sort of like we've seen in Major League Baseball, where if you win that play-in supposed playoff situation, that one-game playoff series, you have some momentum, and sometimes you catch a team that hasn't played in a few days. That's new in the NBA. Utah hadn't played in 6 days. They looked out of rhythm. Memphis is as good as almost any team in the NBA in the top 5 in turnovers and points off turnovers. They turned over the Jazz a lot in that first half, and so Utah's still unable to get in rhythm. I think, like most people around the league, Utah's still going to win this thing. You know, probably 5. Maybe it'll be 6. This is not a Memphis team that I think when Utah kind of gets their sea legs again, Eric, is going to really put up a huge fight. But Ja Morant's a stud. They're young. They're energetic. So you never know. It's been a crazy, crazy freaking year in sports in the NBA. Hell, we got Phil Mickelson as a major winner at 50. So who knows?
Yeah, if I'm Memphis, the one thing I learned here is I'm going right at Rudy Gobert. As soon as he was in foul trouble, it was a different game. Once I got him out of there, he fouls out. I felt like I had the better team on the floor. I'm going to go at him, and yeah, he's going to have some moments and block some shots and alter some shots. But if I can go at him and get him into foul trouble, we saw Joel Embiid get in foul trouble. You know, Joel Embiid was in foul trouble in Philly. He had to come out and basically sit a lot of that second quarter. Same thing here. Maybe it becomes a different type of thing if they can get him out. Yeah, any concern with Donovan Mitchell that there's some bad blood lingering type of thing, or is it like, no big deal, Utah will be fine?
I think it comes down to his health and when they clear him. You're right. He looked really angry that he wasn't playing, and you want that, right? You want your guys, especially your superstars, to be chomping at the bit to get out there. I think if Donovan Mitchell, and it's not just if he gets on the floor, if Donovan Mitchell can be highly effective, 80% of what Mitchell was over the season, they're a totally different team. They're a really good team. I think probably what's going on in Utah, and I don't know, I haven't talked to anyone in that organization. I've talked to folks outside of that organization who have speculated that Utah believes that they're going to roll over Memphis, and they're trying to make sure Donovan Mitchell is ready to go in the series that follow that are actually going to be really challenging.
All right. Next up, Knicks-Hawks. We thought this would be a really good long series. We thought it'd be interesting. Game one was excellent, back and forth in the fourth quarter. I'm a Knicks fan if I am, and I'm there, and my building was electric. But Julius Randle, my guy who had dominated Atlanta in regular season, didn't have it today. I mean, just didn't have it in that game. And I lose game one. The bench played great for the Knicks, but what's your level of concern with a team that a lot of people wanted to knock the Knicks said, you guys are a regular season team. When the big kids got to get out of school and try, you're going to see that you were the try-hard group. You're not the talented group.
I mean, my level of concern is 100% because this is the one series that's marginally close in terms of the seeding, EK, where I felt pretty confident that it was going to be the Atlanta Hawks. And I work with all my CBS Sports Radio based in New York. Everyone I work with is a Knicks fan. They get very sensitive. They get very frustrated when they don't get their respect. So I'm going to say it very nicely. I think the Knicks are trending in a remarkable direction. I think that what they've done from their coach to Derrick Rose's renaissance to Julius Randle's really approach at superstardom, certainly stardom, is amazing. But they need another level of a scorer. They need a guy in the half-court offense like a Damian Lillard who doesn't want to Dame, but still someone like that, like Trae Young, who can go out there and get buckets. And you're right, EK, they are a regular season team. Now, that's not a huge slight. It's not like it's their fifth year in a row in the postseason and this is the culmination of the process. But the reality is that Atlanta is a different team since Nate McMillan took over. They've gone from the worst defensive rated team in the NBA before he was the head coach to sort of middle of the pack since he's been the head coach. They're a top 5 offense under him. We know that Trae Young is a star, and we saw him get buckets and get points. In the postseason, you got to be able to have your offensive stars get separation and create points and baskets when the pressure is on and the defense is swarming. The Knicks don't do that as well as most teams in the playoffs. Atlanta does it as well as any team that's not an actual championship contender. I think that probably adds up to Atlanta. I think it'll be a slog, but they win the series.
William Hill loves Atlanta. They're now 75% to win the series. But now you got to give me something bold. Time for the Geico 15-second statement. The floor is yours, Bill Reiter.
All right, let's double down on the Phoenix Suns' love and belief. Chris Paul's going to get healthy. This is a Suns team that is statistically the best team in the NBA that gets absolutely no love. They're going to roll over a wobbly Lakers. LeBron's going to keep acting, but there's no Oscar or NBA championship at the end this year. Suns don't just beat the Lakers. They make a run to the Western Conference Finals.
Wow.
Because they're the team than the Los Angeles Lakers in the postseason.
And Lakers still favored in the series, although it's fairly close, but still favored in the series right now, despite the fact that they lose game one. Excellent job, Bill.
Want a sports network that delivers everything that matters about the game? The highlights, the picks, the instant analysis. No yelling, no fake debates, no politics. Hit the subscribe button and never miss a moment.